Well, Ashley Stroehlein here alongside Sam Farber, Hornets radio play-by-play announcer. It is a big night. The season is finally here. The season opener for the Hornets hosting the Atlanta Hawks. You've been with this team all preseason during training camp. So what are your takeaways from how this team has developed during that time?
I think they look really, really good right now. You're talking about a core that really didn't have a chance to play with one another last season. Talking Mark Williams, P.J. Washington, Gordon Hayward, LaMelo Ball, Terry Rozier. There was only like 10 or 15 games when they were really together. Knock on wood, they've been healthy all preseason, and for the most part, they've been able to dominate their minutes together. Hopefully, as they stretch out to full starters minutes, that will continue here in the regular season.
Yeah, you talked about health. This team just injury-plagued last season. It was such a bummer because, they put in so much work during that offseason to get better, to get ready, to go out there and try and win games. But all eyes kind of on LaMelo Ball. Obviously, the team investing in him with that 5-year, $260 million deal in the offseason. He also says, hey, I'm committed to the Queen City by signing that deal. But what are your takeaways from his development, and just everyone wants to focus on him being a leader, his leadership role this season? Where do you think he's at with that?
I think he looks fantastic. I think naturally when you have that kind of contract and that kind of role on a team, people are going to look to you. He's more of a lead by example type, and it's a heck of an example out there on the floor. And we look back and think, okay, he was an all-star 2 seasons ago, and last year he wasn't. But his statistics when he did play were better than the all-star season, and he looks better now than he did then. So we could see a huge jump here for LaMelo Ball in terms of individual stats and accolades, and more importantly, what it means correspondingly for the team.
And during Media Day, Coach Cliff said, hey, this team has the most potential to be the best team I've ever coached as a head coach in the NBA. So playoffs are kind of buzzing around Buzz City. I hear that word quite often heading into the regular season. But how close do you feel this team is to being a playoff team? Not a play-in game team, but a playoff team.
I think they're close in for a couple of reasons. One is that the team is naturally getting older, more mature. You've got LaMelo Ball, who's not a 20-year-old all-star. He's poised to be maybe a 22-year-old, hopefully all-NBA type of player. And you've got a healthier group around him to make him better and make the team better as a whole. But also when you look at the Eastern Conference, it's very deep. And I'm not discounting anyone, let alone tonight's opponents, the Atlanta Hawks. They've been a playoff team the last couple of years. But you have a upper crust, teams like Milwaukee and Boston, who everyone assumes are going to be top 1 or 2. And then there's a big group of middle, which leaves room for a team like Charlotte to sneak up. Think of Sacramento last year in the Western Conference. Yeah, there were some really elite teams, but the Kings got all the way up into the top 4, and I think that could happen here for not just the Hornets, but several teams in the Eastern Conference.
And also, Cliff has praised his veterans like T-Row and Gordon Hayward for being here in the offseason, coming back early. They haven't always done that. He said, yeah, Terry called me and said, I'm coming back for those optional workouts. I'm going to be there. So he's really praised their dedication, their leadership. But also, right before opening night yesterday, the team says, hey, we're going to bring Ish Smith back. What do you make of that signing and just that veteran presence that he's going to bring, of course, coming off the heels of winning an NBA championship?
He's such a great character guy and just a true gem here from the Queen City. I think he's going to have a special role. He already has a special relationship with a lot of the players. He was talking to us in his introductory media scrum about how one of the first calls he got after winning a championship was from LaMelo Ball, and he was one of the first to call him after LaMelo got his contract. So clearly that rapport is there. I think those veterans are big. You have to have guys who know the way. Gordon Hayward's been on playoff teams. Terry Rozier's been on playoff teams. Ish Smith's been on a championship team, and so they can help guide some of these young guys who haven't been there before, most importantly, once you get there. But you got to get there. You got to win games. It all starts tonight against Atlanta, part of a 3-game homestand. So if you can't make it here to the Hive tonight, you got 2 more chances before the team hits the road, and 41 over the course of the season.
Absolutely. Love that we could have that 3-game homestand. But speaking of tonight specifically, Atlanta Hawks, an Eastern Conference rival of ours. They're always a little bit of a pain for the Hornets. But what do you make of them as an opponent, and what are going to be the biggest challenges for the Hornets to get in the win column on night 1?
Well, it starts with Trae Young. He's one of the more ball-dominant players in the NBA across all teams. As he goes, that squad tends to go. But Charlotte's had their number. Even though the Hornets really struggled last year with injuries, they won 3 of 4 against the Hawks. And maybe the best game of the year, one of their healthiest games of the year, was a win right here over Atlanta. Mark Williams blocks Trae Young's game-tying 3-point attempt, takes it the rest of the way, dunks it down, wraps it up, crowd goes wild. Unfortunately, I think a week later everyone got hurt again. But in that moment, that was kind of a capsule of what this team could be. And if they can capture that, bottle it up, put it out on display tonight, hopefully we'll get off to a winning start.
All right, we'll cross our fingers, hoping for some magic tonight here at the Hive. And Sam, we appreciate your time as always. For fans who won't be at the game and can't catch the broadcast, they can always check out you. So where can folks hear your broadcast?
You can find us on the Hornets Radio Network. You've got the NBA app, you've got the Hornets app, and of course our flagship station, 92.7 Sports Radio WFNZ. We'll start our pregame at 6.
All right, perfect.